Namaste and a very good morning to my dear students and everyone who's watching this video. So children, I'm again here to continue our discussion on the topic parts of computer. Last time we discussed what is computer and how it works. Its main working cycle, that is IPO, input, processing and output. So I hope you all are clear with this now. Okay, so today we'll continue and discuss the parts of computer, that is keyboard, mouse and many more. So I am moving to presentation now and you all can open page number 8 in your computer books. Okay, so children, now I'll briefly explain the main parts of the computer, and first we'll take the most commonly used part, that is keyboard. So keyboard is used to enter data and instructions into the computer. That is, it helps us to give input to the computer. In case you have to write your name, in class 2 also when you used to draw your drawing on Microsoft Paint, then your teacher always tell you to write your name, and with the help of keyboard only you were writing. So keyboard is used to type, to write something. While doing the emails also we use keyboard. So wherever we need to type something, then we use keyboard. Second one, we have mouse. So you all are familiar with this device also, as you have made so many drawings with the help of mouse. Mouse is also called pointing device. Why it is called pointing device? Because it controls the movement of the pointer. Now what is pointer here? Pointer is that arrow which keeps on moving on the screen when you move the mouse. Yes, so it controls the movement of that arrow, that cursor, that is called pointer also. That's why it is called pointing device. So it helps us to select and open file and folders also. If you have to open, suppose Microsoft Paint only, then what you do, you move your mouse, you go to that icon of the Paint software, you double click on it and then it opens. So in whole this process, which device we are using? We are using mouse. And after opening that Microsoft Paint, with which device you draw on it? Again with the help of mouse only. Okay, so the next device is monitor. It is the most common output device. It looks like a television. Now the earlier two which we have discussed, that is keyboard and mouse, that are input devices that we are putting something inside the computer with help of them. Now monitor is an output device that shows us results. Okay, so if you are typing with the help of keyboard something on Microsoft Word, then who is going to show you? Monitor is going to show us. Okay, so that's why it is called output device. You all know it looks very similar to a television, and there is one another name given to it, that is VDU. So you need to remember this. The full form is visual display unit, something that we can see, visual. Okay, the output that we get on monitor is a soft copy. Now here I'll explain that what is soft copy. That's something that you cannot touch. Now whatever comes on monitor we cannot touch, you can only see it. So that's why it's called a soft copy output. Okay, something that you can touch, that is a hard copy. Now there are three types of monitors. First is CRT, second is LCD and third is LED. Now we'll quickly see what are the differences in these three. CRT is bigger in size, as you can see in the picture also it is there, and it consumes more power. Means they are not that expensive when you buy it, but when you use it they consume maximum power as compared to the other one. Second one is LCD monitors. Now LCD and LED, these two are very similar. They are flat screen monitors, and that's why they are very lighter and thinner as compared to CRT ones. LCD also consume less power than CRT, but LED consume 40% less power than LCDs also. So you will get very less amount of bills, electricity bills, if you use LED monitors. Their picture quality is even better. The LED ones I'm talking about, their picture quality is even better than LCD, and they gives very real effect. Okay, LCD monitors though have a good quality, but in case you want the best one, then LED monitors are there. So because of all these facilities, all these features of LEDs, they are expensive if we compare to LCD monitors or CRT monitors. So as per the requirement, people buy them. Next one we have is printer. Printer is again an output device. Now here it prints the output on paper. As I told you when I was discussing about monitor, that monitor gives us the output, that is a soft copy, because we cannot touch that output, that is inside the system. So now the printer gives us the output on paper. The paper we can touch, so that's why this output is called hard copy. I hope now the soft copy and hard copy is clear to you. And the output that we get from printer can be black and white also, and even in form of color also, because they now in the market printers are available which gives black and white printouts also, and even the colored ones. Okay, next we have processing device. So there is only one processing device, that is CPU, Central Processing Unit. It acts like a brain of the computer, where it processes and stores the information. It performs calculation and sends the results to the output devices. Basically, it is controlling everything. It is taking input, and then from input devices it is processing it, and then whatever results come, then it sends to the output devices to display it. It is also known as system unit, that because it is the whole system which is controlling the every part of computer. Now CPU is again divided into three parts. To understand in a better way, it has memory unit, arithmetic and logical unit, and control unit. Memory unit means it stores information. You all know whatever we are doing on computer, if you save it, then it is always there. It is available for you in future as well. So you want to edit it at any time, after 2 years, 3 years, you want to use it, you can use it, until and unless there is some virus attack or some hard disk corruption is not there, then it can always be there in your system. Okay, the next we have arithmetic and logical unit, that you perform whatever calculations are there. So if we are using the computer calculator or any other calculations are there, logical calculations even in the comparison form, then that type of things are done within this part of CPU, that is called arithmetic and logical unit. Next one is CU, control unit, which controls everything. It works like a traffic policeman, which sees that all the parts of the computer that are connected, that are working smoothly, so that there should be no congestion, same way as traffic policemen do, right? So I hope you are clear with this processing device also. Okay, now let's see what makes computer powerful. So these are few points that why computer is considered to be a powerful one. First is speed. Computer works very fast. Yes, as if we compare to our speed, computer definitely works very fast. Second is reliability. They are quite reliable. If we don't give any wrong input, almost the computer gives us right output. If there is a mistake in input only, then there is no guarantee. But yes, if you have given 100% and right input, you will definitely get a right output. Then is the storage. A storage can store, because a computer can store a large amount of data. Yes, as we discussed just now, it has a huge storage capacity, and even we can add additional storage devices to it. Okay, next we have versatility. Versatility means that it can do variety of work, because we are using now in every sphere of life, as we discussed in the starting of the chapter, that we are seeing computers at airport, at shops, at homes, and almost in every sphere of life. So then is accuracy. It gives correct results. And then is diligence. That means that it can work for longer hours without getting tired. We as a human, if we work continuously for 3 hours, 4 hours, or say 5 hours, we get tired, then our body needs rest. But computer can work continuously for hours and hours, because computer is a machine and it does not need any rest. Yes, but still we say we should not overuse it, but sometimes it's get heated up, so we should use it in a limited manner. Then is the multitasking. On a same computer system, you can do many tasks at the same time. If you are typing something on Word, at the background you can listen to music. Yes, and so we are doing two different things on the same system. That's why it is called multitasking. But there are few disadvantages also that we need to keep in our mind while using computer. First is, long working hours on computer can cause various health issues. Yes, example is obesity and weak eyesight. So if a person is using computer for long hours, that can affect on his or her health. So we always have to check that we need to take small gaps, small rest in between when we are working on computer. It should not be a continuous working more than 2 hours or so, right? In between, after some time, after an hour or two, you should get up, check your posture, so that it should not affect your body. The second factor is the money factor. Computer depends on electricity, so it cannot work for a long time without electricity. If you have laptops as well, though you can charge it and then you can work for many hours, but still after some time you need to charge them. So electricity bills are going to affect if you are using computer or you have many computers at your place. So money factor also involves. Fine. So this is all about this chapter, children. I hope you are clear with this. Yes? Okay. So thank you so much. Next